Interior designer Jane Lockhart is going to show us how to inject your personality into your home decor. So great to have you back on the show. We love having you on the show.
Thank you.
So we're going to go through some photos to show examples here.
So I want people to see that when you're picking accessories, which is one of the hardest things for people to do, is you can do it in multiple ways. So this is a very nice traditional home. They wanted to modernize it, and you notice that the accessories tie into the art. So it's overall neutral and has contrast, but then we've added the color. It's another example, a little bit more modern, and everything has stayed really the same except for that gold is what pops out.
It pops out in the pillows and the frames
ties
there.
Into the furniture. If, on the other hand, you're more all about color, you'll see that the rug, the art, and the pillows have color, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you manage everything around it so it doesn't get too chaotic.
Okay.
Now, this is a really good example of a room that doesn't have a lot of color, but where there are accessories, they add a lot to the shape. So sometimes when you're looking at accessories or details, it's not about color, it's about looking at the form of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and
that's color. I love this.
Isn't that fun? So in a staircase is where people struggle. Look, you're passing through it, so this is where you load it up with color because you're not spending a lot of time there. So it's a great example where a rug is used as color. And I wanted people to see this one, to see that you don't have to use your accessories in a typical way. So in this case, we have small IKEA frames across the back over the bed, and then you have the pieces of art in it, but because they're hung in a different, more dramatic way, it brings it to a new level. And then we have a dramatic piece to the side, and that makes it feel a little bit different.
And I like here how you haven't added color, because traditionally you would add color maybe through the bed coverings, and you didn't there.
No. So one of the things to think about is contrast is just as good as color. So black against white, brown against cream, charcoal against ivory. Those are all levels of adding interest to a room, even though it's not color.
Okay.
And it's personal. It's what you can live with.
And in all of those photos that you show, in all of them, the background is very neutral.
Very neutral. So we're still seeing color develop, but for most people, they're getting there.
Yeah,
so
it's like, I'm not quite brave enough to paint a wall, but if the wall is still neutral, you can add all texture and so let's start about some of the trends here, because this is kind of like a natural trend here.
Yes, so this might scare a lot of people, but we're seeing the return of terracotta. So you can see here on the vase, there's lots of this, and the way to add this in, it's nice because it's really that handmade or handcrafted look, and we really have seen this, but we haven't seen it go into color yet. And that's what we're starting to see now. The idea of not just black, not just white, but other warm colors. So we've seen it in wood, now we're seeing it more in pottery. Even this piece here, these are all from Indaba. And what's nice is you can see that this texture, color looks handmade, idea of texture that you can touch.
Yeah,
and that's
tactile.
Tactile, very tactile. And even our trays in the marble, the beads, which is a big trend, because something like that could just lie on your coffee table or lie on the dining room table, and people just pick them up and touch them. They're a really nice way, but they look like glass, like worn glass, sea glass. Yeah. So natural elements in a different form.
Okay, and then we have natural elements here in a faux form, but you could have, well, like when peonies come in season.
Yes.
Oh, it's my favorite time of year.
I know, isn't it? And you'll see a lot more. These are silk flowers, which again, they've improved the quality in so many ways that you do not have to worry if you're a plant killer.
Yes.
You know, that's not allowed out. It's okay to have faux because the faux is really good. Just what we don't want to do is just stick our plants in corners because we're trying to fill. Put them deliberately, group them together, and place it so that it makes a statement. And that's sort of the idea here. I don't just have one or two flowers, I have a whole row of them together so that they make more of a statement in the end.
Okay, great statement pieces too in dining accessories.
That's right. Okay, so these are metal, and what's so nice about them, they're in our gold, which of course gold is popular, but the inside has color, and that's really a new direction. And the color is not as dark as we've seen, but it's also not so light that it doesn't look like it has impact. We're seeing these midtones that are drifting over to pastels. So look for kitchen accessories, like utensils you cook on the stove with. All of those will be in color, but particularly in pastel.
Okay, want to show these because these are so cool.
These are from Abbott, a Canadian company, and look at this. These are lights. So you guys may remember, I'm not sure how well you guys can see this, but I'm just touching the top, and they're LED, and they change color depending on what kind of mood lighting I want. But there was an era where you used to take a liquor bottle or a can, like a wine bottle, and you would take it, like drink it all, and then use the bottle and put a candle in. Nowadays, candles, of course, we try not to do that as much. And now we have these being produced that just have this LED cap on them. And of course, you can move them around, carry them, put them whatever. And there's these vintage bottles, things that we remember like 7-Up or Coca-Cola, whatever it is, that's just sort of fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's
and who
really
sells those
great.
Again?
This is Abbott.
Okay.
So if you go on their website, they'll tell you who their retailers are that you can go to.
Okay, we've run out of time. But this is a good excuse to have you back.
Over, I know. And there's always
you're injecting our homes with personality and our own personality.
That's
so
right.
thank you, Jane, for coming in.
Thank you.
We'll get all your socials up, linked on our website, chch.com/morninglive.